What's going on, people? It's Joshua, Future Filmmaker 3940 Reviews, just giving you guys my thoughts on some movies, and we are back. It is the month of Black History Month, Chinese New Year, and Valentine's Days, but Black History Month is one of my favorite holidays to celebrate, and so, to honor it, I decided to do something a little bit fun, which I will probably be doing more of this after this national month. Show some respect to the black community and review more black cinema on my channel with my usual. So every week for the rest of this month, I will be reviewing 5 movies. Tragedy of Macbeth, Steel, which I'm now looking forward to talking about. We have Disney Pixar Soul, which I should have reviewed in 2020. Spike Lee's Jungle Fever, and then we will conclude on February 27th with American Gangster. But we're going to start this off with The Tragedy of Macbeth, which is a 2021-2022 film. And this is directed by Joel Coen and one of the Coen brothers, without the other's involvement. Based on the Macbeth play by William Shakespeare, it stars Denzel Washington, Frances McDormand, Catherine Hunter, Corey Hawkins, Harry Melling from the Harry Potter movies, and Brendan Gleeson. If you are familiar with the Macbeth story, which has been done countless times, a Scottish lord becomes convinced by a trio of witches that he will become the next king of Scotland. So his ambitious wife will do anything to support him in plans of seizing power. So, The Tragedy of Macbeth. This was a movie that I didn't really know a lot more about. All I knew is that it was a movie about Macbeth. I am familiar with the Macbeth stories. We did learn this at high school, and you've heard the story countless times. It's been done multiple times in film and multimedia. But the thing that had me curious about it was you had Joel Coen set to direct it, and then you had Denzel Washington as Macbeth, and Frances McDormand as his wife. And these are two very great hardworking actors, and it doesn't matter what movie it is, the movie is good or bad, they always bring something to it. And it is pretty different to have Macbeth being played by a black leading actor, so I figure I'd give it a shot, and I heard a lot of reviews and a lot of people praising it, saying this could be an Oscar contender. And I wouldn't go that far, but I would definitely say that The Tragedy of Macbeth is definitely one of my favorites of the year so far. I know this is a 2021 movie, but Apple TV Plus and other people didn't get it until 2022, so I'm counting it as 2022. So I want to talk about The Tragedy of Macbeth and praise this and talk about why I love this. The thing I appreciate the most about The Tragedy of Macbeth is I do like the fact that, like the other Macbeth stories, like some of them, this interpretation of the Macbeth story is simplistic. Is not a lot much going on. It's just a very simple story. It's always been a story that has been well simplified. It is Shakespeare, of course, so you do have to know what you're getting yourself into when it comes to Shakespeare. And I do like William Shakespeare stuff. Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, of course, one of them. And I think that the way Joel Coen just writes and directs this movie, I think he executed this movie very well in terms of direction. It is a visually stunning film from its production design, which is shot on this movie was shot on sound stages to make it look like a play, and I do like the way it feels like a play, and it definitely does feel like you're watching the stage play version of Macbeth, as you would usually do if you were to see this kind of thing done on stage for Broadway. And not only that, I just like the way the movie is presented in black and white in a 1.331 aspect ratio. This has been done before with The Lighthouse, so I definitely do appreciate that aspect to it. I very much respect what Joel Coen is going forward. You can tell that this is his vision. Yes, he's done work with his brother Ethan Coen. They are two of the greatest duos who has directed, but I feel like Joe Coen, him doing this alone, he's able to give his own voice to the Macbeth story. I can also say that the acting in this movie is really, really good. Denzel Washington and Frances McDormand. These are your two leading actors. As I said, no matter what movie it is, even if the movie's not so great, Denzel and Frances McDormand, the movie is not the most well written, even if the movie is pretty bad sometimes. But Denzel Washington and Frances McDormand, I rarely see both of them give a bad performance. That's no exception here. They're two of the most powerhouse Oscar winners, especially Denzel Washington, who has to carry this part of Macbeth on his shoulders, and I think he does the part of Macbeth very, very good. I haven't seen the rest of the other Macbeth movies. I've seen quite a few, but I think Denzel's version, he brings it his own style to it, while also staying true to what Shakespeare did. And it's pretty nice to see a black leading actor play Macbeth. You don't really see that a lot, so I definitely do respect the fact that the director actually went that route and do that. You also have the performance of Catherine Hunter, which she has to play all three witches, and that is not an easy task to do. The three witches who tells Macbeth he's going to be king, and this easily could have been a very exhausting scenario on her part, but I think Catherine Hunter does a very good job as the three witches. You also have Brendan Gleeson and Harry Melling, who you may remember from the Harry Potter movies as Professor Moody and Harry's nephew, as I should say, Dudley, the cousin. And they both do a really good job in their performances as well. You also have Corey Hawkins, who you also remember from Straight Outta Compton and Kong Skull Island. He's in here too, so it is a well-acted film. The movie is shot very well from cinematography standpoints, and a production design standpoint as well. Is a very good-looking film visual-wise. It does play the tropes of Macbeth, but that is to be expected when you're doing a Macbeth storyline, because you do have to stick as faithful as you can to do it. And that's what the filmmakers they were doing. They stuck closely to what was on the page. The movie's not too long. It's an hour and 45 minutes. It gets straight to the point. It gets you in and out. And for some people, I can see some people wanted a little bit more out of this. They want a more longer version of this film, but we've had plenty of other Macbeth movies that are longer and shorter than this, and certainly won't be the last. So it's under an hour and 45 minutes, and it gets the job done. And that's fine. It didn't need to be over 2 hours. It's very fast paced. And some people will not like the approach that they take with this, but I respect the fact that it is a different interpretation of the Macbeth story, and it is well handled from technical aspects or from the direction and writing standpoint. And you know what the story of Macbeth is. It definitely goes for it. It is a pretty intense movie from the dramatic standpoint, because this is a historical thriller, and it acknowledges it and knows it. And for the entire length of the movie, I'm sitting there watching. I was invested into the story because yes, I may have read this back in high school, but it's always fun to see directors and filmmakers do this story justice.
Something wicked.
No matter if the execution is good or bad, but I think it knows exactly what it's going for, and I appreciate the effort here. I very much appreciate it and respect what this movie was trying to do. I don't really have that much negatives to say about the Tragedy of Macbeth. I could say I did want this to go on for a little bit longer, but I'm not, because at the end of the day, I was very satisfied with the story and this direction and how it played out. I very much appreciated what this movie was trying to do. And I can see this getting some Oscars for its cinematography and its production design, and maybe for its directing. Because there's a lot of actors and actresses who are gonna compete against each other for the Oscars, for either one of those. But at the end of the day, I don't really have that much negatives to say about it. Overall, the Tragedy of Macbeth definitely is one of my favorites of the year. I'm very happy I was able to choose this to start off my little Black History Month review series. It is a very well done adaptation of the Macbeth stories. It's very simplistic, very straightforward. It doesn't have to be too long. It doesn't have to overcomplicate things. I think the movie has great direction. I'll mention it here. The score is really good. The performances by Denzel, Francis, and the rest of the cast are really good. And this is one of the better Macbeth adaptations. I do wish this was a worldwide theatrical release. That way a lot more people could seek this out, because this is a movie I definitely think should be watched, even if you heard the Macbeth stories. And it is a very well made, very well executed movie. And while I can see some Shakespeare fans, even some diehard fans of the Macbeth play, say this did not work for them, I can understand that, but this worked for me, and I'm going to give the Tragedy of Macbeth a Spider-Verse approval-worthy rating. So that was my thoughts on the Tragedy of Macbeth to start off Black History Month and my little small reviews. So, in the comment section down below, what did you guys think of the Tragedy of Macbeth? Is this your favorite Macbeth movie? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are you somewhere right in the middle? We will return to this on February 10th, where I have to review Steel, and I am not looking forward to talking about Steel. This is not going to be a very, very fun review, and I've watched it. But anyways, in the comment section down below, what did you guys think of the Tragedy of Macbeth? Did you like it? Do you hate it? Are you somewhere right in the middle? All my social media links to the description box down below, as well as my Cash App, my Amazon wishlist. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified when more videos like this are up. I do have more stuff outside of Black History Month coming very soon. I'm working on them. I have been on the go, so that's why it took me a while to get more stuff posted. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Join the Epictasticness, and you guys keep it cool.